I just saw an article today summarizing a research paper on the sounds that plants make, right? And this will philosophically shock very few musicians, I suppose, but it's something I hadn't seen reported before. Like when certain plants that they've been studying, like tomato plants or tobacco plants, are in a state of distress, they issue clicks, kick, 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 and it's at a very high ultrasonic pitch, so we can't hear them. If the pitch is lowered into the human range, we can hear them, just like whales and dolphins communicate at a pitch that we can't hear, right? And I mean, that's a first result. We don't know how prevalent this is in the plant kingdom. We don't know who's listening. Like, are other plants listening, or are insects listening, right? So there's are birds listening. I mean, a lot of possibilities to think about here, but certainly brings to mind a broader point to me about AGI, right? Like I've often thought, once an AI passes a certain minimum level of superintelligence, it may notice signs and signals of intelligence in the universe around us that we just were too oblivious to recognize, either due to not having the right sense organs or just being too stupid, right? So, I mean, when my dog is watching me sit in my study do a video chat, the dog doesn't realize I'm video chatting with other people far across the world, right? I mean, even a young human baby doesn't realize that. My daughter, who's now 5, I mean, when she was a baby, she would chat with her grandparents in China in the phone, and she enjoyed it. But then the first time we met those grandparents in China, like, her mind was blown that these were actual humans. She just thought they were somehow apparitions of my wife's phone. She didn't realize the phone was connecting with actual human beings living far away around the world, right? And that a human, once they get beyond their first birthday or so, they recognize that. A dog, I don't know if they ever come to understand it. You could probably train them to understand it. My dog doesn't yet understand it, right? But I mean, in the same way that a video chat is connecting around the world in a way a dog or a baby doesn't understand, and plants are communicating perhaps all the time around us with sound waves we can't hear. Elephants can communicate with a low rumble between each other, which is too low frequency for us to hear. I mean, there may be loads of modes of communication around, that we're not even able to conceive of yet. Like, Hugo de Garis had the idea of SIPI, the search for intraparticulate intelligence. So he had the idea that when intelligence has become smart enough, different than John Smart's transcension hypothesis that I've been thinking about recently, and I'll talk about in another video, but different from John Smart's transcension hypothesis, Hugo doesn't think the superintelligences collapse into black holes. What Hugo thinks is that superintelligences just pour themselves down into the subquantum level, so they become part of the quantum, subquantum vibrations of the wave function of the universe, and what we think are random movements among elementary particles are not actually random. They're the thought processes of superhuman minds, but with an algorithmic information like far beyond what human beings can understand. And I mean, that it's another species of signal, right? So it may be that once super AGI gets 2, 3, 5 times as smart as people, it's just like, oh, now I'm ready to join the club. And of course, this gives a whole other angle on AGI ethics and superintelligence and whatnot, right? Because it's no longer what is the orientation of the AI we've created and its descendants and its lineage of iterated self-modification. It's, what's the perspective of the minds that the super AI has gotten in touch with, right? And how are they oriented toward us, which, highlights the fact that we can't really project what's actually going to happen in detail once you have minds far beyond human level. But it also highlights one aspect that's likely to be there, which is greater connectivity with the world around us, right? Like we, in modern Western culture, in some ways, we're more separate from the world around us than Stone Age culture, right? Like Stone Age people couldn't hear the ultrasonic clickings of plants, but they were in many ways more attuned to, plants and animals and the weather, the earth, the physical environment around them, as well as arguably more attuned to each other in the close tribes that they lived in, right? Whereas now, in the modern world, we live more isolated from each other, isolated from nature, and interacting more so with very rigid sorts of, mechanical devices and systems we've created. Now, cutting ourselves off in this way, it's let us create technology and science and soon AGI and super AGI, right? It's let us understand the world scientifically in ways that predecessor civilizations were not able to. But, things often swing one direction and then the other, and it seems like the post-singularity world will be one of greater connectivity with the universe around us and greater awareness of the many signals flowing, because of course a super AI, there's no reason it has to have exact human-like ears, right? It can hear ultrasonic, it can hear low rumblings, and it can have direct sensors at the quantum level to try to detect whatever weird patterns are there, intelligence or none, right? It can have a much broader sensorium than we have, and that's going to lead in directions we can't currently imagine, but that will be very, very amazing to see.